everybody, Wayne here. In today's Recon, I'm unboxing Warfighter Vietnam, designed by Kevin Verssen and published by Dan Verssen Games. Alright, Warfighter, the Vietnam War Special Forces card game. This version of Warfighter, the Vietnam one, is designed by Kevin Verssen and published by DBG. This is the most recent release, as of the filming of this, as always, in the Warfighter series. Just released. Kickstarter is arriving to people as we speak. So this is one that I definitely was looking forward to. I did back this myself on Kickstarter. It is also, I believe, the first one that comes with the new updated Warfighter manual. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen that manual, and I can't remember who does it. Hopefully his name is in this one. He didn't do it in the fantasy one. He didn't put his name in there. But it's for Warfighter Fantasy, the new adventurer manual. So we'll take a look at that and open it up in a second. Watch that tree line for ambushes. So Warfighter, if you're not aware, is a solitaire war game. Can be multiplayer, I suppose, or cooperative. But generally speaking, most people are going to play it solitaire. So Warfighter places you and up to 5 of your friends, technically, but again, I think pretty much everyone plays it solitaire, in Vietnam-era combat missions. You begin each mission by selecting your squad of soldiers. You equip them with America's best weapons, equipment, and skills available. During the mission, you'll engage the VC and NVA to advance your locations on the way to your objective. So you're going to build out a squad, you're going to equip them, and you're going to go on the board and move through location cards and encounter enemy hostiles and defeat them and complete your mission. So it's a pretty fun and fairly popular system. So Warfighter Vietnam. All right. Standard box thickness, nothing special, but it'll hold everything. So here's what I'm kind of talking about. If you see this new recruit manual, so, and again, the fantasy one is new adventurer manual, new recruit manual, so a new style of rulebook that they're going to start doing, as far as I'm aware, as far as I've heard. So this should be the first game with it. That actually comes in the box. I have the Warfighter fantasy one, but again, I had to download that. I had to print it myself. Actually had it, I paid to have it printed somewhere, so I could have like a hard copy. All right, Warfighter itself, you know, this rulebook, we're looking at what? In this rulebook here, 56 pages. Now, it's not, I wouldn't call the difficulty or complexity of Warfighter to be, the type of game that requires actually 56 pages, right? This isn't a hex encounter game, 56 pages. That's a heavy game. Warfighter is a solid medium, maybe medium light. It's really more the fact the amount of components involved that even creates sort of additional complexity. So, and then maybe somewhat with the additional like keywords and such as the system's grown. Welcome to Warfighter. Charlie don't surf. Yep, classic movie quote there. So this, you have game design, Kevin Verssen, game development, Ben Smith, Holly Verssen. Hoping to see rulebook. There it is. So Ben Lattimore. There he is. Old Ben. Blue Maxima. I think in the fancy one he just put Blue Maxima. So Ben, good to know you have a real human name. All right, so just some information, a little introduction here, and then dive in. As always with my recons unboxings, where I'm trying to learn the game, trying to teach it here. I'll do additional videos for that. This is just to kind of go over my first impression of the contents that are in the box, right? So you can see you get this manual. The keywords guy will look at all that stuff in a second. 280 cards, punch out counter sheets, 5 of them, a mounted tactical board, 4 10-sided, 1 6-sided die. And the rulebook, it's standard DBG, will be in color. You're going to see examples of, okay, the different types of cards, right? And I mentioned, if you're not familiar with Warfighter, kind of, you have your soldier cards you're going to pick out, you're going to build out your team. With different types of soldier cards, player soldiers, which give you action cards, team soldiers, non-player soldiers, squad soldiers do not give you action cards. So you want at least 1 player soldier in every squad or every mission you go on. You're buying weapons, equipment, skills, service records. Sometimes it comes with a card, sometimes you have to pay for it. Vehicles, there's missions and objectives. Again, it's nice that they have everything in full color here. Spelled out, looks like pretty clearly. The hostiles and events, the locations you're going through, right? Action cards, I mentioned things like, oh hey, play when you or any soldier, you have to pay a little extra for that. Declare an attack, treat your defeat cover roll as being a 6. When you're attacking, you're defeating cover and then trying to hit as well. So kind of a twofer. Different types of counters included on the counter sheet. Tactical display, we'll look at that in a second. game setup. So large text too. So remember I mentioned it's whatever, 56 pages. Very large text, very clear. Looks like very easy to read. I don't know how good the rulebook is. I do know the Warfighter Fantasy rulebook was pretty good. All right, let's move on from the rulebook here. Let's check out everything else, otherwise this Recon's gonna take forever. All right, so the keywords, February of 2024, we're looking at. You're gonna what are you getting now? They're not numbered, but multiple pages of keywords. So it's a card-based game, right? So all the cards are gonna have different little keywords, you know. Add this, adjacent to that, always ambush, any soldier X, deadly environment, what does defeat cover mean? We talked about that, right? Break, breach, etc. I mean, literally so many keywords, tons and tons of keywords. It's probably the one thing about Warfighter Fantasy, or Warfighter, excuse me, the system in general, that can get a little tedious at this point is there's so many keywords. So hopefully this is up to date and includes everything, so at least you have an easy reference while you're playing. All right, well actually, and usually I save the map for last, but since this is a playboard, I'm actually gonna bust it out right away. So it is mounted. Looks like it is a little bit of the shiny material, sort of a shiny, and so it may be, hopefully it's not too rough looking on my camera here. I have a lot of overhead lights to make things bright. Occasionally that can make things a little shiny, some reflection. So, which I see there are some reflections. Sorry about that, guys. So here is the board, if you will, right? The playboard. It's mounted. Probably gonna have to either back fold it or maybe put a couple books on it just to get it to lay flat. Outside of the little bit of shininess, please ignore that. We have, so the location deck goes up here, you're drawing from. Hostile deck, where your enemies are. Body count, I assume what you've eliminated. Your action deck you're drawing from. The mission cards, what mission you're on. And these are going to be the areas you're moving through, right? You're placing location cards, moving area. You can see here, how it is. Mission timer, how many turns you have in the mission. Looks like we have setup here. We have the actual, we have a full turn sequence. Hopefully that's accurate. Then also the attack sequence. And then here you have the attack chart. Remember I mentioned defeating cover and then attack rolls, so 2 rolls, right? Warfighter, cool looking board, cool looking background. Again, maybe not as cool on camera just because you're getting that reflection. Glare off the lights, but I do like it. I may have to, assuming I do any videos on Warfighter, Warfighter Vietnam, I may have to adjust my lights, which is kind of a pain, but we'll do what we got it, right? So, okay, so that's a board. Let's look at counters and some cards. So, 5 counter sheets. Counters are used for a variety of things. Keeping track of ammo, drawing, designating which numbers your players are, for targeting, right? Drawing to target certain players of yours. Are you causing kills? Kill in action. Are they being suppressed? Here's the numbers for the players, for your different soldiers. Hardy counters, mission stuff, equipment, right? Fuel, bipod deployed, foxhole, mortar shells. You have grenades, smoke grenades. How many actions you have, or when you have your actions, and then you'll flip them over for used action. Individually die cut, pops out, nice thick counters, very high quality as usual with DVG. Their counters, they definitely know how to make them and make them high quality look and feel like a good part of the game. So all counters look very nice, nothing too fancy. I film in 4K, so if you wanted to pause at some point to check them, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we're going to move on to, I think, the cards. Yep, well, actually, let's look at the dice quick, and then I'll bust open some cards. So dice that come with it. And what's pretty cool is that, and I just love a little thematic dice. You guys know that if you watch any of my videos. For the 10, it should be. Yep, for the 10 or the 0/10, I have a M16 on there for these. So, and for the 6 on the D6, M16 as well. So very cool, very thematic. Love dice like that. So we have, what was it again? Couple hundred, right? 260, something like that. Cards, 280 full color cards here. I'm not going to count each one, but here they are. Let's go ahead. I'm going to bust them open. I'll do that off camera to save you guys, but I want to point out they do have the nice, see here, where it's a strip where you just get your finger under there. You pull that, and maybe if you have a fingernail, it'll help you a little bit more. theoretically, you'd be able to pull this open. I'm not having luck with it, but yeah, maybe some people will be able to do that, open them faster. But let's get these cards opened up and take a look at them. All right, I have the cards out of their pack spread out here by the different types. I put away the board. It was just a little too much glare, a little distracting. So, familiar with Warfighter, you're going to know all this. I'll leave through the cards here in a second. You can get a look at them. But if you're not as familiar with Warfighter, you've never played it, or if I played a little bit, like I mentioned before, you assemble a squad or assemble a team, right, to go on the mission. So you have your player soldiers, those ones that will have hands of action cards, team soldiers, NPS soldier, which is non-player soldier, I believe. So non-player soldier, whatever. And then squad soldier. You, again, will have, their equipment, weapon cards, skill cards, see vehicle, aircraft. You have your soldiers here, your player soldiers we're looking at. So these are the ones, which looks like, what, three are U.S. U.S. soldiers, and then 3 are the Arvin soldiers here, it looks like, which you can see on the back too, right, the flags. So you get 6 total of those, and then fewer of each of the other ones, it looks like. Assemble your squad, you're paying a certain number of points. Points are in the top right. You're paying those points, you're getting that, say that soldier here, right? So, Needlander here, you pay that much. That's going to be his movement for getting through, helping move into locations, how much health he has, also going to be his cards, bonus card draws, what loadout, how much he can carry basically for weapons, a bonus hand-to-hand, his actual cover rating, higher the better, comes with, so he has search, when he does search +3, M60 machine gun, and he has battle fatigue 2. Again, they'll each have different things, right? Candy bars, the ready skill, +1 action, or 1 body count, 2 experience points starts with it, etc. Building out your squad, you're spending money, getting some stuff that's with it, etc. And assembling them to go on your missions. So looking at the missions here, where those cards go. Here we go, mission cards. I do like the backs of the cards. I like the artwork on them. Something like Mission Fortunate Son, Mission Run Through the Jungle, and it'll tell you certain things. Tells you how many resources you have. So those were when I mentioned the cost, right? The top right, those would be the resource cost. So how much resources you have to spend, how much time you have, what location the objective is on the board. Remember, there's multiple spots. Any bonuses or negatives to loadout, and the body count. I don't know what that is. Should be new to this game, I believe. Just different abilities, different things you're doing, and the rulebook will tell you exactly. Maybe it's your War Pigs is a escort mission. Some of them maybe, I think I saw one that is holding action mission in the front. So give me shelter, so you're probably trying to hold off an enemy attack, etc. During the turns, you're fighting the different enemies, which are right here, which they have 2-sided or double-sided, which is a really cool little feature. So you have kind of the hidden side, right? You don't know exactly what's going on. You can't exactly see where they are. They're concealed in the jungle, right? Concealed in that terrain. We flip them over. Oh, now you can see. Is it armed farmers? Is it, commanders, conscripts, etc.? Very standard. Very standard. How many health they'll have, how many hostiles there are, depending on what the health is, how many are left, I should say. So there's 2 hostiles. If it's 2, you're rolling. Attack. Range 0. So the same area. The miss, cause any wounds, etc. And also have to defeat cover, else it just causes suppressions. Foot soldiers, commander and troops, more foot soldiers, rice farmer, fleeing farmer, scared farmer, a squad, etc. There's a little info for hand-to-hand and unarmed combat. Your objective, so we look at the missions objectives. So the actual final, because it'll tell you, objective number 4, objective number 5, number 6, and then is it going to be, yeah, so to go along with it, possibly be, oh, look at that, hostile reticles, objective. Anyway, so you have the objectives card. What am I thinking about here? What else am I thinking of? Random events that can happen. Again, the skill cards, right, for your soldiers. Those skills that we looked at a little bit, well supplied, semi-expertise, auto-expertise. Let's move, body count 2+, add 1 your movement. Scout them out, body count 3+, pick up, flip over, unengaged hostile card, see the engaged side, etc., etc. I did notice the action cards here. There's a ton of them. So action cards, right, that's where you get a hand of them based on your player's soldiers. These are the cards that you're going to be able to play. Special events, add to your hand size, all player soldiers to the end of the turn, to your search rolls. Who's counting? Each hostile card eliminated for the rest of the turn also earns you 2 XP. At the end of the turn, add 8 battle fatigue action cards to draw a deck, then shuffle. Right there, play when a hostile card moves to stop them from moving. Place 1 suppress on them. Rock and roll. Play 1 XP when you, or if you upgun it, which you spend an XP, any soldier inflict and killed in action, enemy killed in action, and range 0, inflict another enemy killed in action against the same hostile card. Cautious, you have covert numbers, support number, etc., etc. Just a ton of action cards here. And then you have the location markers. So when you're drawing your action cards, location markers are where you get a location marker, you discard it. It says discard to draw 1 location card, excuse me. Pay 1 body count or 3 XP to instead draw 2 location cards. That's when you're drawing from the actual locations that we looked at. The where'd they go? Look at them yet? Where'd they go? Oh, right here. So the locations, right? So these are the ones that are laid out on the map, right? And you're going from location to location. Shanty District, downtown area, River Ford, the Hooch, Open River, Market District, deep tunnels, road, spider hole, etc. You get the idea. I think that covers most of the cards. Again, I'm not teaching you how to play here or anything like that. We're just doing a nice little in-depth. This is actually pretty in-depth Recon unboxing for me. I like to keep them to 10 minutes or less. This one is not. This one's more like 20 minutes. Initial impressions are good. Manual looks good. Excited to learn it. I mean, I know the Warfighter system, but always you kind of relearn it. It's a solid medium. I would say it's a solid medium complexity system. So especially all the keywords and kind of the systems that interact and work with each other. A couple comments. I'm not, and we'll see how it goes. There's not a lot of soldiers, so I'm surprised you're only getting, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 4, 5 of them, and some of them are Arvin, so not even just U.S. soldiers. But look at this stack of action cards, which it's kind of a lot of action cards because you're shuffling them and drawing from this deck constantly. Which, yeah, it's nice to have a bunch of variety, but at the same time, that's a lot of different action cards. Maybe, say, this many could have been, like this have this stack of action cards, and then this many could have actually been more U.S. soldiers to give you more variety to build out your squad, right? Because you're very limited here, as is. You only have 6 player soldiers. So these are the ones that have the actual hands of action cards, and only 3 are actual U.S. soldiers. Niederlander, Vasquez, which I don't know. Also don't know, historically speaking, how many female soldiers were on the front lines fighting in Vietnam. Maybe more than I think. I don't know. Maybe it's a chance for me to learn something. I haven't heard of that, of being a big thing in the Vietnam War. And then opponent here. So you do have 3, but out of this whole box of 280 cards or whatever it is, however many there actually are, you only have 3 U.S. Player soldiers. I feel like there could have been a few more, maybe triple that. Give me 9, give me 10, right? Allow me to construct a team like I want. However, I do know that there are expansions, and I'm fairly certain that there's an expansion that gives you more U.S. troops, more U.S. soldiers, probably a variety of all different types. So something to check out. Additional thing to purchase if you want that option. So, all right, this is Warfighter Vietnam. Hope you guys enjoyed this little recon. If you made it this far, love a thumbs up. Let me know if you played it yet. Let me know what you think about this game, Warfighter system, in the comments below. Let me know if you want any videos on this game. I don't know if I will. I may. There's enough interest. Otherwise, also, sure would appreciate a subscription. Just hit that subscribe button. It's free. I won't charge you a penny, I promise. But until next time, everybody, later.